Hi, and thank you for joining me for another process video. And today is day 8 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life, series 17. And today is the fabulous sketch by my lovely friend Jackie Ashton. You can see it in the top left-hand corner there. So Jackie chose a 4x4 photo. It's written on the sketch. So I chose that photo of James when we were at Jersey Zoo last year. And I thought that's what I was going to use. I also pulled out this Lindy's Magicals in seagrass green, and as soon as I started blending it with the water I realised just how dark it was. I was hoping it would dry a little bit lighter, but it didn't really. It's still quite a murky green. So I persevered and created the background that I was looking for using the packaging technique, left it to dry, but while it was drying I decided to switch tack and I actually used a different photo. So I pulled a photo from 2022 when Amelia did her Duke of Edinburgh Silver Award. So it's just a picture of her and her friend Roisin walking with their backpacks. So I've just used the packaging technique, and now I water down what was left of the paint a little bit more, and then I'm splattering that all over the background. So now that's dry, I'm going to use Arden Creative's new collection by Katie Petite, and I'm just blending, using the stencil from that collection, I'm blending some fossilised amber ink through the stencil just to create a bit of texture on that background. So it's a beautiful collection called Nature Study, and it works really perfectly with these photos. So I treated myself this morning. I decided that I just had to have it. I couldn't wait any longer. So this is in the shop at Hey Little Magpie. A lot of it has sold out now, but we are going to be getting restocks hopefully in the next few weeks. Just waiting for Arden to get some. I don't think they realised just how popular this was going to be. So this is the paper pad. They don't sell the papers in loose sheets. They're all in this paper pad. So you get 2 of each, 24 sheets in total. They're all double-sided, really nice weight, probably the same weight as American Crafts. And this is my first look through the pad. So I'm just choosing a few papers to create those strips behind my photo. I've stuck pretty close to Jackie's sketch there. So I'm just cutting those 2 vertical strips that go on the left-hand side of the photo. So I've got this one here with the lovely ferns at the bottom, and then I'm going to cut another one the same size and same length from this lovely graph paper. I like the solid against that paler colour. I think the contrast looks really nice. So I cut them both the same size, and I'm just layering things up to check that I'm happy with everything before I start creating. So next I'm creating that strip that goes across the bottom. It's almost like a shelf for that photo to sit on. So I just use the reverse side of that other paper, and then I pulled this paper out, a different one again, to create the scallop border, and I'm going to use the large scallop die from Hey Little Magpie for that. So you can see it there. I just pull off one of the scallops because it was a little bit long, and that's going to sit neatly underneath that strip. So now I'm pulling out the ephemera pieces from the collection. The laser cut pieces have sold out, so I didn't have the opportunity to use those, but these are absolutely gorgeous. And I did see a friend's laser cut elements, and they're actually double-sided, which is really clever because it means that you've got both orientations on each product, if you've got birds looking to the left or right, and leaves and so on. So I'm just pulling out some of the leaves from this ephemera pack and laying them down the left-hand side of the photo. And then I found this little label that says all the details, so I'm going to tuck that under the right hand side of the photo with another label, and then I'm just throwing some things into that right hand corner there because I want to create that little cluster that Jackie's got in the sketch up there. So just having a look through, and I see this title that says Wander and Wonder, and they certainly did that on their Duke of Edinburgh. They walked miles and miles. I think Amelia was pretty shattered when she got home. James did it as well. They both did it together through school. So I'm happy with the placement, so I'm just going to go through and distress all the edges of all these pieces and stick them down as I go. And you'll see in the final layout, most of that mixed media that I created in the background is covered, but there's still a fair amount peeking through, and I'm not sad that it's covered because it really was quite dark. So there's the first piece, and I'm just going to stick that down before I carry on. So you can see there, some of the mixed media is still poking out the left-hand side, but those huge dark blobs are now nicely covered. So here's the second piece, exactly the same thing. I'm just going to distress all those edges and then get that stuck down. So while I'm doing this, please don't forget to check the description box down below to see the playlist of everybody else who's joining in on this month-long hop. Every day we just add our videos as we create them to the playlist, and then you can just watch them in your own time and hopefully find some new people to follow and subscribe to. Do add comments where you're able to. It really helps us as creators. It helps get our channels out there, and it also gives you a boost when somebody comments, because you think, oh gosh, yes, there are people watching. I'm not just talking to myself. So now I've pulled out some scrap white card, and I'm just creating that nice thin border around the edge of the photo, just to get a bit of definition between that and all the pattern papers that are going behind it. So this is the strip that the photo is going to sit on. And that's going to sit under there. I'll just bring my T-square in again just to check that it's straight when I put it down. And then that scallop border is just going to sit underneath it. So you can see how beautiful these papers are. I'm really happy that I've got this collection now. I sort of put it off, but I couldn't wait any longer. So I've cut some Viewmaster reels from the Viewmaster reels die set from Hey Little Magpie, just in craft cardstock. And I'm going to use one at the bottom here as my anchor point, or the mat for all my embellishments to sit on. I just wanted to get that scallop stuck down so that I could make sure that I was happy with the positioning, and then sticking the Viewmaster and photo. Well, I don't stick the photo down. You'll see in a minute I start to stick the leaves down and then realise I haven't actually stuck the photo down yet, so I'll quickly rectify that. I thought about using that little ornate frame as the circular element down there, but it was just too much with the Viewmaster, so I leave that off. But that title is going to sit down there as well. So I stick this first leaf down, and it's at this point I realise that that photo is not on. So just quickly grab my ATG and get that stuck down. Again, just checking that it was straight, and then carrying on sticking these leaves down. So I remembered I wanted to tuck that label under there, so I'm going to do that shortly. I just want to get that title down as well. And I've also got this lovely flare that says "Love This" from Hey Little Magpie, our March embellishment box. So you can see that in the right hand side of the screen. It's got that lovely black and white ribbon. There are quite a few other bits that I haven't brought onto screen, and then there's that bag full of bits that I'm going to add some of to this layout. So these embellishment boxes are a monthly kit subscription that we do at Hey Little Magpie. It's available worldwide. They're very reasonably priced, and it's just all those little extra bits and pieces that I love to add onto my layouts. The fabric flowers and the flare badges. It might be some labels to cut apart, some lace trim, just all those fun bits that you don't get in the average collection nowadays. So here's a piece of lace that I'm going to add down the left hand side. This isn't in the March box, but it is a lace that we sell at Hey Little Magpie, and it's that sort of thing that you can expect to get in the Hey Little Magpie embellishment box. So just tucking that under that second strip, and then I'll add a little bit more at the bottom, again just leading down from that together circular piece. So I just add a bead of glue and then stick that down, and then trim it off where I want it to finish. And now I'm going to work on this cluster at the top. So that offcut of paper I'm going to trim down to make a little tag shape, and just use my crocodile to poke a hole in the left hand side, and then build up these other little bits. Again, it was another offcut of paper from the strip that's creating the shelf, and that's that piece that I'm just handling now. And then that With Friends piece is from the ephemera pack, and that works really nicely at the top there. So just slowly building things up. This label piece works nicely underneath, just to anchor those two pieces down. Again, almost acting like a shelf really for them to sit on. And then I find that other label piece there. So then I wanted to bring in, you can see on Jackie's layout, she's got a second circular element here on the left hand side, and Jackie often does that as the anchor points for her embellishment clusters. But I just wanted to bring in this smaller Viewmaster reel. Again, it's cut from the die cut set. We have 2 dies in that set, one slightly larger and one slightly smaller. So I just cut that in half and tuck that underneath that top bit of the leaves. And now I'm just going to glue down these labels on the right hand side of the photo. And then I shall go into the embellishments from the embellishment kit and find some other bits and pieces to add around the page as well. So I love this blue butterfly. I had to add that at the top, and that matches Roisin's rucksack perfectly there. And then these little bugs. There was a little blue bug there, so I thought that would be sweet at the bottom there. And then I found another little yellow one that goes at the bottom of the cluster there. Just checking that everything's in place and tucked in neatly. So this is where I pull out all of those little embellishments. As I say, this is only part of the embellishment kit. You do get more in it, but these are the bits that I was interested in using today. So I've got this gorgeous golden flower, which is going behind the leaves there. And then some other little flowers. So I had a little green one next to that flare. I'm just working out if I want to bring in another one. And then this lovely green star. This is an embroidered star, and I just think that's going to work really nicely at the top there on that tag. So I add that to that label. And then this lovely ribbon loop, which has just got a smiley face. I just thought it was so sweet, it had to be added to the photo. So I'm just going to staple that into the corner there. So now adding some wax twine to that tag. Again, this kit comes with wax twine. It comes with 4 different shades of green. This kit is called Irish Charm because obviously it's St. Patrick's Day in March. So there are a lot of greens and a few rainbows in this kit. It's a really sweet one. I was very happy with the way it came together. And you'll see if you follow Hey Little Magpie, the girls will be creating inspiration throughout the month using this kit on the blog. So I've added another tangle of thread up the top there because I had that next to the flare badge. So I just wanted to mirror that at the top of the page. I had a little bit of a fight with the adhesive, but I managed to sort it out there. And then I wanted to add a ribbon loop with this black and white ribbon. So I just tuck that above that golden flower. Just adding some glue and then get that tucked under. And then my journaling is just going to go underneath these scallops. Jackie's got it underneath the strips on her sketch, but I'd created my strips a little bit too big, so I decided that that would be the next best place to put it. And then one of these EK Success tab punch pieces, which I'm just going to add to the top of the page. Again, I decided to go for black because I've got that black thread in the top right and next to the flare. So that's just bringing the black up to the middle of the page. And then I spotted this word phrase that says "in this moment." So I thought that would work nicely up there. And then I'm just going to stamp the date. And I actually decided not to use black this time. I think it was iced spruce that I used here, just so that it's slightly more subtle. And just stamp it onto scrap white card, cut that out, and then glue that to that black tab. So it just fits neatly there. Just tucking ever so slightly underneath that word phrase. I just have to pull it up to get it tucked under. And finally, I couldn't leave the layout without adding some gold splatters. So here's my gold watercolour paint that you will have seen plenty of times if you've been following my videos. So just adding some splatters, focusing in at the top and bottom of those strips of paper and then around that little cluster on the right hand side. And that's the layout done. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope this has provided some inspiration for you. I shall see you again soon. Bye.